To be honest, a lot of people have fears, and it wasn't until I changed my like greatest fear that I was successful because I mean everyone has a crap ton, and I had to really look at it, and I realized that my greatest fear would be never knowing what could have been. So instead of just, wishing and wanting and hoping that something was going to change, I just decided to make it happen. And I never looked back, and yeah, had hiccups along the way, got knocked down, but I got back up too. And I think that's important for everyone to do because you're totally worth your dreams and capable. You're all the authority you need, honey.
Hey, I'm sitting in the parking lot at the gym. It's 7 a.m. and I just got done with my workout. This morning on the way here, I kind of had this idea. Actually, I had a dream, and then I was thinking about it in the car because I was talking to Gary Vee, and Gary Vee is like one of my greatest, I guess idols, I don't know, in the industry because I got his book back in college when I was working on my first business, learned a lot from it, got obsessed because of that book, started learning more, started watching him a lot, and I had this dream that I was actually talking to him, and we were talking about like how similar we were, and I told him, I was like, I want to be like the female version of you. And I know that he's kind of like, like you have to put in a lot of work, you gotta be patient kind of thing. And I was like, no, like we legit have the same pieces of our past, and I'm like upfront and honest the way you are too, and I want to provide that much value. And it got me thinking, and I posted in my group to my tribe, and I was like, if I were to talk to Gary Vee for 10 minutes, what part of my story would you want me to share? What part of his story do you want to know about him? What question should I ask? Kind of thing. Because I'm actually going to try to get him to talk to me for 10 minutes, and we're going to film it. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. I know that most of the time he says that he likes people that are consistent. So I don't know if it's going to be 90 days, 100 days, 10 days, 5 hours. I don't know what it's going to be, but I know I'm going to try to get him to talk. I'm going to drink my drink, kind of out of breath. Today was shoulders, and then I did a lot of like the stair steppers and stuff like that. But I'm going to start driving, so I'm going to get off here. I hope everyone has a freaking awesome day, and tune in to all my other clips from today. Bye!
When I started my business, everything was a little foggy and messy, and I don't blame anyone going into business feeling that way because it totally is like that. But it wasn't until I realized that I had a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge around helping people step up to be an expert entrepreneur that I was successful, because I needed to show other people that were passionate, creative, and things like that, how they can turn their passion into making the greatest profits of their life. So I literally, this is what I do. Like, I set up my clients to be the expert entrepreneurs so they're not normal. So I'm trying to do something to be productive because I'm about to go on my walk. It's 8 a.m. and I'm kind of frustrated at the moment because this is how fucking lazy I am, and now it's causing me more time. So if y'all do this, y'all should stop it and fix it because you're gonna value your time one day. So I'm trying to find this new podcast episode, and I literally didn't fucking name the folder. So I got shit all over the place and I can't find it. That's all I really wanted to say. So this is what we're doing. We have to, like, there's my intro. But we gotta like make sure everything's cut. And we're going. And I can edit this part out, so don't worry. Welcome back which is really cool when you work on this kind of stuff because you can like literally cut it. So really that's like the only cutting I do on my podcast shows. So let's make sure we fade in audio, fade out audio, and if we want, we can like add part of it to the intro.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Entrepreneur Show. Today I have the sweet Linda Bello, and I feel like everybody says the sweet in front of your name, so I just had to throw it in. But we are here to talk about 5 months to freedom. Basically, you know, letting go of the job that you have or whatever you're doing right now that you're not fulfilled with, and finally getting to that freedom lifestyle. You know, whatever that may look like. That's what we're here to talk about because Linda did it herself. I've done it myself. There's a lot of other people out there that have done it too. And it's your turn next.
So seems like a perfect spot to cut it. We cut it. And then I move this in front of the intro. Well, fuck. I try. And then we can delete the closed gap. And ba-bam! We got an episode and it's ready to go.
All right, I got 30 minutes to go get myself ready because I have a client, another one of my dream clients, because I always work with my dream clients, but I want to show you what I did this morning. I guess I can't turn it around. So, you know, I was picking up rocks and stuff like that, so I made a nice little garden. I guess I'll walk like this. But I have like granite in here, and I have crystals, and a bunch of red rocks. So then the next project would be to get gravel, well, clean it out, you know, and then get gravel, put it in there, and then plant. And then again, we still want to power wash, but at least I got my garden going to start. No more rocks in the yard. We can mow now. I wanted to jump on the scale because I think a lot of people do that in the morning, and something that I wanted to bring up was I'm usually around 135 when I'm super fit, on top of my diet. Okay, not really on top, let's be honest, but I am paying more attention to like lifting weights, doing cardio, and eating, you know, like 80% good most of the time. And I weigh more, and when I start to let myself go, I mean, I can feel it on my sides when, you know, I can start holding on to the fat kind of thing. And I end up dropping in weight. And I wanted to show you that because it's not about the scale, and any of y'all out there that want to pay attention to the scale, that's great and all, but I'm telling you, if you go lift weights, if you go do cardio, if you start eating right, you're going to start dropping weight and gaining muscle mass, and muscle mass weighs more than fat, because I know right now my body fat is a lot higher than it was at the beginning of March, because I can see it, I can feel it kind of thing, but my weight has gone down, so I don't want you to really pay attention to your weight anymore. Just saying.
Being normal means that I would be out of business within 3 years because 90% of businesses fell within 3 years. And I didn't want that. And I didn't want my clients to go through that either. So I made it my calling, my duty, my mission to really help my clients step up to be expert entrepreneurs. That way they can do what they're fucking passionate about for every single day of their freaking life. We get one life and we gotta live it as crazy and wild as we want. And if not, like, what's the point? Like, I don't want to get to my deathbed and not live out my dreams. So I started taking action. You gotta do it too.
It is 10 in the morning, and remember how I was editing the podcast episode this morning? Well, I'm uploading it now, and we're putting together the page, and I'm waiting on a client to jump on the call. So, I mean, if they're late, work on something until they get to the call. It's okay, right? You know how I'm always telling you I'm human? Well, I did it again, guys. I saved my podcast episode in the wrong format. Like, I don't know, for like the 10th time, you'd think I would learn my lesson. So I'm reformatting it so I can finish up this episode and get it out to you. And yeah, that's the story of my life. You know, I am so human, and I will own up to that every single day for the rest of my human, amazing life.
So many entrepreneurs are very passionate and creative around whatever it is that they do, or they come up with these titles that they want to do, but they're not like 100% there. And I really wanted to focus on helping each one of these people really make an abundance and doing what they love by helping them become an expert entrepreneur. Because if you're not set up for success and you don't know how to be an expert entrepreneur, you're going to be normal. And I don't want you to be normal, because I don't want to be normal. I want you to be different with me so we can be at the top together after, you know, the statistics that over 90% fell within 3 years. Like, we got to surpass that. We got to be different. And you are different and capable of your dreams. I am having an awesome day. I'm kind of feeling a little silly and stuff like that, which is always great. I've had a napkin in my lap all morning. That's funny. Like I'm sitting at the dinner table or something. I wanted to come on to kind of go over the whole Mexico retreat, because a lot of people always say, like, it's so cool to do a retreat and an event and things like that. And I got to tell you, like, I'm scared shitless, or I was. But at the same time, I know fear is not going to be the driving force. I've put it into the whole passenger seat. The way my client, Lindsay Scott, would say, have fear, but it's in your passenger seat. But I wanted to come on just to kind of like show you what it actually means to have a business retreat. Because so oftentimes people have these great ideas. They want to have an event. They want to get everyone together. They want to sell things. And they don't realize what it has to be priced at in order to break even, to even make a profit, because you want to make it worth your time. And then other times, like if you're thinking about going on a business retreat, it seems like some people are like, man, that's priced way too high. But at the same time, I want to show you that it's really not. Like, they're including all your expenses. Well, actually, I don't know about every retreat, but we can talk about mine, the Entrepreneur Business Retreat in October 2017 in Mexico, because I have the facts on that one. I have facts on a few other ones too based on my clients, but we're going to talk about mine because it's all legal and good if I'm the one sharing it, right? So let's dive on into this stuff. So I'm looking at it. I don't know if I'll actually share my screen with y'all, but the thing is, like, I was bartering back and forth. I think that's the word I want, right? Bartering. With Mexico, and I was doing all the bids and stuff like that, going back and forth. The prices were going down with all kinds of different places on the island. And the one I really wanted, I was like focusing on it. You could say manifesting if you want, but I was like, this is where it's going to be. I'm going to get the prices down though. And then they sent me something. We finally got it to go down a lot. And it's at an all-inclusive place. So I just figured that would be easier for like meals and stuff like that, and making sure you were covered on your trip, your business write-off trip, because you can write that off, but also have a vacation out of it. But what ended up happening is they did that. It was the right price. And then I was big baller, and I'm just kind of like, you know what? I don't want the standard rooms. Take them out. I want to upgrade everyone to have the jacuzzi rooms, which kind of led us to only having king size beds in the room. Plus they're out now of all the ones that had double beds. So if you bring somebody, you're going to have to share a room. But here is a thing. Like, let's break down all the costs that are included with this retreat, because I don't think that this is something that people talk about. And I'm like, this show is unfiltered. It's all my truth. So I have nothing to hide from you, just because I want you to realize what it takes to have a retreat, whether you're planning to attend one or you're planning to host your own. You need to know the truth, the dirty truth beneath the fine layer, behind that sales page, you know, with that bright price, and is it right or not right? So here we go. Like I mentioned, we have the superior room out of the one with the jacuzzi and stuff like that, and they're calculating, so all inclusive, you pay per person per night. So I'm getting it for like $110 a night for 2 people, or $110 times 2, so times 5 nights. So it's $110 for each person. I'm not even making sense, I don't think. Times the 2 people, times the 5 nights, and we are looking at, you know, right around 11. So $1,100 just for the hotel alone. Okay, and that's not including the taxes, which let's add on like another $250 just to be on the safe side. So we're already looking at like almost 13. So $1,300 being the hotel alone. Okay, so that's why tickets to these kind of things that are all inclusive. That's why you don't get them for $1,000. If you're also staying there, like, you should be grateful that that's something that we could do. So now let's talk about the other expenses that I had to include on it, and some that you will have to, or maybe you won't. But the other costs, we have a non-refundable deposit, which was $1,000. I had a non-refundable deposit for blocking off the rooms for everybody. I had the group management costs. So that would be like the people helping me out at the hotel, the resort, whatever. And then saving the meeting room space. I also had to make sure that when we were having our meetings in the morning, that we would have coffee and pastries and juice and water served right there too, so you could just grab it while we're talking in the morning. So that was an added cost. We also have the welcome party on the first night of the retreat. I had to basically block it all off, and that's like planning a wedding, you know? So I had to reserve the beach club, and I also had to include all the catering from just that party and any surprises that I do during that, and the service for that. So, you know, the waiters and waitresses and stuff like that, because they're not going to be working at the other part of the resort. They're taking away from that and coming to help us out, or working overtime to make sure that our event is awesome. So all that added up together, that is $8,455. And when we break it down per couple, it comes out to like $285 per couple. So we add that on to what it was with the room price. And then the other costs outside of just the hotel costs that I had to include, it includes the catamaran, which is like $5,000 just for the day that we're going on. Then I have to include mine and Brad's room, because I mean, we're going, and I mean, it should be included, you know, like we're teaching everybody. And then I have to include every single one of my guest speakers. And of course I chose to have 7. So it's not like a tiny cost. So everything that I mentioned above, which was like 12, multiply that times 8 rooms. So for my guest speakers and for me. And then I have to also include the photographer's room and the photographer's flights. And I had to like estimate another amount of cost just to be on the safe side. Okay. So all of that added up together, guys, that is about $21,668.03. I hope I'm not confusing anyone, but I mean, this is important to realize, like, what actually goes on for a retreat. And then when you divide it by how many couples are going to be there, how many rooms that I'm planning to book out, it comes down to like $722 per couple. Okay, so that gets added on to the $281 plus the 12 that we mentioned above. And then also keep in mind, we're not even calculating taxes at this moment. And then I also have to, you know, figure out what the whole break-even point per couple is. And we're literally sitting at $2,305 basically. So that's basically the break-even point. So I know that there is no way in hell I can sell a ticket under $2,305. I can't even talk. $2,305. I cannot sell under that, or I'm going to be paying money for you to attend the event. And then this is what I also did. So I hacked on a $500 profit for the early bird price of it, because I mean, I deserve to get something out of it. I mean, I'm giving you away, I'm planning all this stuff, I'm doing all this awesome stuff, but I also wanted to help my guest speakers be able to promote it, to help fill it up faster, and to also find the right people. And I'm big into always being equal and always sharing the good. So I told the guest speakers, if they book someone, then we're going to split the profit margins 50-50 for the early bird. That way, I got $500 and they got $500. Of course, they're not getting paid until the actual event, because I want to make sure the guest speakers attend. And I also want to make sure that the people attend and they're not going to cancel and get their money back. Okay, so there's different ways of doing it. And you also have to have like your contract and things like that. And I think ours was like 7 or 8 pages long. but it's something that you have to have in order to have this event going on. And then with calculating the prices and stuff, my early bird price that ended on Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, was $3,300. So that means that the profit margin for me was I'm only getting $500. They're getting $500 if they book it. And then if I book it, of course, I'm getting $1,000. But I also did a discount for my one-on-one clients because I really want my tribe to come as well as everyone else's. But since, you know, it's me throwing it and it's my hands and everything else like that, I gave my high-end clients their discount too. So then the next pricing that we're in right now, because it's May 10th, we are only charging $3,500. So it only went up $200. So I'm only increasing my profit margins $200. Do you see where I'm going with this? Like, it sounds cool. Like, oh my goodness, like people are booking out a retreat and it costs $5,000 and that person's making so much money and they're getting rich off of it. But the truth is, it's not really the case. And then after that, on May 23rd, the prices are increasing to $3,800. So that means I'm only adding on an additional $300 to the profit margin. On June 17th, they increased to $4,000, which is another $200 added onto the profit margin. And then after August 5th, the profit margins are only going to, it's not, I don't even really know at this point, because on August 10th, I have to report everything to the hotel, resort, whatever, my event planner at the resort in Mexico. And after that, I have to pay a fee to add someone on. So I just included that extra fee, which comes out to $4,650 for someone to join on, because I got like a $550 fee to go and include to add on someone at that point after August 5th. And then it shuts on September 5th, and we see you in Mexico on October 10th. So those are kind of like the prices in the back of planning a retreat that a lot of people don't see, because it does cost a lot of money. So if we're actually looking at this, my retreat, hold on. Like I'll show you the total. So my total retreat for 40 rooms being booked out, the whole cost of this thing is about $70,000. Okay. So you guys planning retreats and, you know, being fluffy about it, like you don't want to screw yourself up and fuck yourself over by not knowing your break-even point and not knowing everything included and not having a retainer built in case something comes up. Like maybe I need to hire an extra person, or maybe I need to, book another space out or bring something to the welcome party, or maybe the catamaran's going to be more or something like that. Like I have to include some kind of retainer cost to keep us safe. And on this, I only did a $5,000 retainer cost, and hopefully we don't go over that. I'll make sure we don't. But the thing is, having a retreat, having an event, it costs money. And I mean, I don't have $70,000 in my bank account. Like I'm literally booking it up to pay for it. And then after all those $70,000 are paid, then I can do the profit margins for myself after cutting the profit to the guest speakers if they had someone sign up. So I just wanted to come on and share that, because I think there's a lot of confusion going on what it's like to actually host something. Hopefully that helps out. And I didn't scare you too much, but there's the unfiltered truth about having a retreat. I would say a lot of the time people let other people's thoughts and opinions influence them. And I don't think that's something we can allow to happen, because you have to be able to really think about what it is that you want in life and let all the noise just kind of leave you for a second and think about it without the fear, without the naysayers, without all the doubts, and just think about what you want and then do it, because you're all the authority you need. When I started my business, I didn't really tap into the whole personal development side. I know people say to always learn new things and stuff like that, but it wasn't until I started getting into like the more intuitive and spiritual stuff that I realized that I had a lot of fucked up issues. And I had to let go of self-sabotaging myself on a subconscious level. I had to let go of the fact that, you know, my body is telling me like I'm not supposed to be here, whether it's my mind or my physical being. Then I knew that I had to speak up because I was tired of having my identity stolen by this like ego that I had and wanting to always help others, because, you know, it's one thing to be a people pleaser, but you can't let other people run your life. Like, you get one life. You got to live it as big as you want and as wild and crazy as you want. And I want to go after my dreams, and you got to go after your dreams too. I really hope you do. So you don't need to listen to the other authority. You're all the authority you need. That's all I'm trying to say.